Okay, this is really a continuation of the video number 2. I had to kind of end it for a moment. I want to pick back up, really talking about a course that I took while I was at that school at Case Western Reserve. And I mentioned in that video I didn't finish there. I finished at another school, my degree in human development with a concentration in psychology. But the course there, it was called Sensation and Perception, Sensation and Perception, and I learned quite a bit in that course and whatnot. But the main thing is that if you didn't leave knowing anything else, you really should have left knowing that our senses and that we perceive is totally, they didn't say not real, because that wouldn't have been very academic, right? They didn't say not real, but it was really for you to make the connection that it's not what it appears. We see things actually in an inverted way, and the way it hits the back of the eye, then it flips. So much is happening neurologically that enables us to have this perceptual experience, but it doesn't bear out, it doesn't hold up under scrutiny, in other words, for being what we perceive it to be. Now that's a very convoluted way of just saying that we cannot trust our senses. Here's another example, a little more straightforward, and I think very obvious, but just not something we think about a lot, which is that, I'm trying to make sure my head up. Look, okay, which is that these are things that people just take for granted. They just go about in their daily life like, yeah, I know that, but I know it, but I'm not going to think about it too much. And these are things that I just think about like, we need to think about that. Okay, we know that we're on this planet, Earth, and we know that it's hurtling at a tremendous rate through the universe, or some would say through space. Yet, we perceive ourselves as being still. We have nothing. Our senses are not doing any justice in informing us about that very critical information. The fact that you're on a planet that's moving fast as hell, and through the and your senses are telling you. Okay, that's one. The point is really to get to the point where you question everything, but for now, where you definitely question your senses, the ones that we've been told to rely upon, that are so reliable, we think, being the 5 senses: touch, taste, smell, seeing, and hearing. And I think that's a good starting point, a good starting point for getting beyond those senses, because it's not until we can get beyond that we can start to question other things that we take as being valid and real, like the body. That's we actually, most of us walk around thinking that we are our bodies. Now I want to, because in the past video I mentioned what am I talking about here? What is this all about? This is about finding our center, about getting to a place where we can't be moved, getting to a place where we may be, where we won't be really, I like to say, let's say we'll be shaken but not stirred. if we're shaking at all, it's not going to be serious. At least that's my experience. That's the point I've gotten to, and it's the point that I really, I gave some examples about, some traumatic events that happened that let me know that actually, even in that event, you can transcend the circumstances of your life. You can detach, and this is something I've been doing for quite a while now, and I kind of take it for granted. But then when I see people who are totally consumed with their circumstances, and I don't mean just major circumstances, I mean in a day they wake up and something happens in that day that they don't like, and that's a problem, and the next thing, and they go through the day reacting to these circumstances, and it's affecting them physiologically, their health. It's affecting relationships with other people, pleasantness, affecting a lot of things. And so this is one of the reasons I say let me make my contribution, because there's definitely other people out there talking about this type of subject matter. However, I believe that there are certain people who are only going to be able to really get it when they hear it from some person, and some other people that are only going to be able to really get it and have it really resonate in the way that they need it to resonate when they get it from me, or through me, because that's what we're really talking about, is transcending the ego. And at some point, the ultimate point that I've gotten to through meditation is to realize that we are much more connected than we give credit for, than we think, in the sense that I hesitate to say me and some other person, because it's really no such thing. But I don't want to get too far ahead right now. But to find your center, the only way that I know to really get there is through meditation. And meditation can be a laborious process. It can seem like, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here, not doing anything. I mean, especially at first, it can be difficult, like anything else that you do at for the first time, or that you're new at. But I really think it's the key. I really know that it's the key to finding your center. And why do we need to find our center? Well, if you find your center, this is going to empower you to do virtually anything that you want to do. People are insecure or about various things, or afraid of public speaking, or afraid of how someone's going to view them in this scenario, or what someone thinks about them, or who likes them and who doesn't like them, or who loves them and who doesn't love. All these things are matters of the ego. All these things are matters of us living externally and being interested in the external, and trying to manipulate or take control over the external. And so our sense of self is out there somewhere, when in fact if you only knew how powerful, who you really are. It's a totally inverted perception of yourself, you see. And this is what so much of society and everything is dependent upon. It's dependent upon you not ever knowing who you are. That's what this game is about. This game is about keep you distracted, keep you busy, keep you frustrated, keep you sad, keep you searching for something out there, when the whole cruel irony is that everything that you're looking for, literally everything, is right here. You already got it. You already got it. There's nothing. There's nothing that can make you more whole than you already are. Now, don't get me wrong. I know. You know. I happen to be, from a zodiac perspective, at least, the Western chart, a Libra, and one of the things. So that's the scales, and so just a quick way of me saying, or trying to just to give some credence to the fact that I can really see things from both sides almost simultaneously. So I know when I'm saying something, I can really understand the other side, how it could sound to someone if you haven't been, if it's new information. It's one of the things that used to make me very successful in sales, was being able to really understand my customer, or the person that was sitting across from me. But I'm saying that to say, my point being is that I know how frustrating it can be to hear that and not totally really understand it. You hear it, you've heard it, but it's kind of like, what the hell are you talking? What do you mean there's nothing else that I need? I have everything. I'm struggling, or I don't have this, or I want that. I'm looking for that. And that's why I'm here, because the way that I see these things being presented, these concepts and these notions that are profound and that are absolutely essential for everyone on the globe to get at some point, that's what the evolution of our consciousness as a species, a human being, is really all about. It's the whole point, in my opinion, is for us to evolve beyond the ego. And so I have to do my part in helping that process along. I have to do my part, and and I too have been frustrated at the way that these things are presented. Let me give you an example. Here's how it's usually presented. It's usually presented by someone who's talking as if they are on some kind of really good heavy drugs, and someone that's very different than anyone that I've ever met, and probably not someone that I would like to hang out with, and just causes me to question, is that who you really are, man? I mean, are you saying that you're really that tranquil all the damn time? For real, man? Listen, okay, cool, but I'm always thinking, first and foremost, not to alienate anyone who's watching this, but I'm always thinking, how are my people? How are black men in particular, especially younger black men, who I'm really concerned, about the development of. A lot of focus on, on the need for the development in that area. The point is, can they relate to that? Can they relate to you? I can relate to you. I can relate to a lot of. My experience has been broader than a lot of people in terms. But the point is that I just feel that, hey, there's just another opportunity. I'm not looking to knock anybody, how they do their thing, but so anyway, finding our center. That's really what this is about, and I intend to and will be making offerings that can help, that I feel will be helpful in doing that. And so, but meditation is really what it's all about. And so, to the extent that I can help some people grasp how to do it, and just bring it a little bit more down to earth, that's what I'm here to do. Okay, thanks.